Hi everyone! I just saw on the title, today I'm going to be talking about how I personally dealt with homesickness because oh my god, I was looking through all the old pictures and I just realized I live here for 2 years now, almost more than 2 years, which is just crazy. It went by so quick. I went through lots and lots of emotions, like I'm not even exaggerating, like it was loads. You know, one of the hardest things that I had to go through was homesickness. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about how I dealt with it personally. Before we get into it, I just wanted to say that I'm not here to tell you what to do or like teach you what's the best way to deal with homesickness, because everyone goes through different experiences. It's a different journey, and so everyone deals homesickness differently. So because it works for me, maybe it doesn't work for you, and the same as other way around. So yeah, I just wanted to speak about that first, because I remember the first year that I moved to England, the first thing that I searched on YouTube was how to deal with homesickness. First 6 months I cried every night in bed because it was really difficult. And so I just wanted to just find the answer, how to reduce stress and just this sadness. And I felt like I was missing this life that I had back in my country. I just wanted to find a solution. So that's what I did. And obviously I got so many good advices, you know, from YouTubers that posted the video. But then at the same time, some people will be like, oh well, go and join a community or go and talk to new people and stuff like that. And I'm there watching and feeling like, well, I can't really do that because I'm not that kind of person. I can't just go and talk to a stranger and just be friends because I'm very shy. Once I get used to that person, I'm really open and stuff like that. But just watching those videos, I don't know, it's weird, but I feel like I just put more pressure on myself, and in the end it just caused more stress. So I stopped watching and I stopped searching how to deal with homesickness. But there were some tips that it worked for me as well, so I want to talk about that too in this video. Okay, so the first thing that it really worked for me, and I'm still using these tips now as well, is journaling. Journaling just helped me, you know, get this stress and just everything out of my system. Wait a minute. So this is my journal. It's really cool, it's like a magnet. I sometimes like look back and like, you know, read it through, but most of them doesn't really make any sense because I just write down what's in my mind at that moment. Also, it was also good for me to remembering my language. Well, for me, I live in England, so obviously you only speak English in this country. I never use Japanese here. Maybe when I see my Japanese friends, but back then, like last year, the first year that I came here, like I had no Japanese friends, like no one. I had no, you know, reason to write down any Japanese or speak Japanese. So that's why journaling was really good. So force myself not to forget my language, which is so weird, but yeah. So that was the first tip that it really worked for me. And the second method that it worked for me was to call my family and friends. That in the beginning I was quite scared to do that because I thought calling them might, you know, trigger more emotions, you know, feeling like, oh, I miss my family and friends. Like it did a little bit, but at the same time when I call them and when I speak in my own language, I feel like it all resets, like all these like stress and everything is just like, I feel like it's gone once I talk with them. So it really helped me a lot, and it kind of like motivates me to like work harder and don't take this experience for granted, because living in a foreign country was always my dream. Like since I was little, I always said like I want to leave Japan, like I want to live in a foreign country, and which I am doing now. And I thought like, again, this as well, like in the beginning I felt so guilty feeling I want to go home, because when I was back in my country I wanted to leave Japan But then when I left Japan, I felt like I want to go back, and that really made me feel so guilty because this experience is all I wanted, like for a long time. I think I kind of underestimated how like homesickness is. Like I thought it would be maybe like a temporary, like 2 months, 3 months, and you'd be fine. But oh no. Like I said, it lasted me minimum 6 months. And like I said, this is a different journey for everyone. Like maybe for some people 1 month and then like they're fine. Some people last maybe a year. You know, everybody deals it differently. So and that goes to the third tip of feeling more comfortable living abroad, is obviously make friends. And I know like this is such a hard thing because it's so easy to say it. It's so easy to say like go make friends. What I'm saying by making friends is more like make your own community, and it doesn't have to be like face to face seeing people and stuff like that, because that was really hard for me. But what it worked for me is like make my own community online. That was like the most simple and easiest way for me. I made my kind of like England Instagram account. So I had like old Instagram account that I used to have when I was in Japan, but I created a new one just for here. So you know, I wanted to just make my own community, and maybe if I'm lucky I can just like make new friends through Instagram and like meet new people and stuff like that. And guess what, it worked. I met lots of Japanese friends through my Instagram, and you know, I'm really glad I did it. I'm really glad I did it. Also YouTube as well. The reason why I started YouTube was because I was bored. I had nothing to do, to be honest. Another thing was I also wanted to keep using Japanese because, like I said, I had no opportunity or time to speak Japanese. So I just wanted to use this YouTube as an excuse to just get out of this system. But now this is my second year. I don't really miss that anymore. Like, yeah, I think I overcame that, or I don't really feel the need to speak Japanese because I think my English improved a lot. Not only speaking, but like listening as well, because the English I learned when I was in Japan is so different from the English that people are using it, you know, here. Like my listening skills were so bad, I couldn't like really understand what people are saying, especially like accents, and even those like little things can be so stressful. But from my experience, I just have to say that will get better over time. Like the more you stay, the longer you stay, you get to understand the culture, understand the language, understand the people. You know, that's the topic I'm really passionate about as well. I love learning cultures, so just gradually understanding, you know, how people talk and how people think, how people, you know, act in public. I started to feel more comfortable, and I felt like I'm confident with myself. Another thing that really helped me to be more confident with language and understanding the culture was working. Like getting a job in a foreign country really does help to, you know, force you to talk to your colleagues and talk to your boss. And again, that was another hard thing for me. Like the first 6 months, it was really hard. I was like, oh, like I want to quit this job. But after that, I began to build a good relationship with my colleagues, and I feel like now I have my own community. So yeah, just to have that sense of belonging and to have that people that I see every day really helped me a lot. From my experience, I was lucky enough that I moved here with my husband, so I always had someone that I can speak about, you know, my experience, and if I'm feeling sad, I can just talk to him. And last year, for 11 months, I went to language college, so that also helped too. Through that, I made lots of friends in Europe, in South America, and just like Asia, like lots of different places, which is so cool. So yeah, those like experiences really taught me a lot, and you know, just helped me grow as a person. Like I gained so much perspective. Don't know, like looking back to my old YouTube video as well, I used to film it in Japanese, but I talked about like how difficult it was the first year, and I really appreciate that I experienced that, so that now I know that I can fully appreciate the experience that I'm having now, because now I don't really feel lonely, or I feel like I have my own friends that I can, meet up and just hang out in London. It's the same as life in general as well. Like life is always ups and downs, and if you always have ups, then you don't really appreciate enough. Like you just take your life for granted. But because you go through downs as well, once you went through kind of like negative experience, you gain so much more perspective and you get to understand about yourself more. I just like this journey really, it was like a perfect time to understand about myself, like what I want, what do I need, what makes me happy. Like those like simple stuff, but it's so important in life, and like going through downs really makes me appreciate the ups. I don't know, I feel like this was like a kind of serious topic, but it's not, at the end of the day, it's not that serious. Obviously it's hard, but it's life, it's experience, and it's always like life is a learning process. And yeah, I'm enjoying learning about myself and learning about cultures and society and about the world, especially 2020. Like that itself was already a journey. So yeah, this was just my personal experience and how it was like for me. But if like the tips that I just mentioned, I'm not saying it works for you, but if this gave you a little bit of inspiration or motivation, then you can try one of the tips and then see if it works for you. Like it's not gonna hurt anyone just trying new experience or trying new tips. But I love asking questions to you guys. So the question is, how did you dealt with homesickness? Are there any tips that you recommend to anyone? I would love to know, because just sharing experiences and sharing tips can actually help someone else's journey. If you're comfortable enough to share that, please leave that in the comments down below. Also, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. 1K subscribers. Like what the now my mind is like but thank you whoever decided to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram. It's just welcome, and thank you for joining this community. It's so cool to see people from different countries, like all around the world, joining in this community and sharing their experiences. It's so inspirational and it's so motivating. Yeah, you guys are amazing. But yeah, I hope you are all well, and I hope you and your family are staying safe. Again, I hope you have a lovely day, and if you're interested, you can check my Instagram as usual. And I think that's it. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!